What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be working on the seated Jetski. And my man, wanna come out, buddy? Wanna come out, buddy? No? All right. Shadow's coming out here today. Our master mechanic over there. It was just her birthday. She's 4 years old now. She's getting a little old, but that's all young. Yeah, 4 years old is young for a dog. So stay here, baby girl. Okay? I know you're gonna want to go inside in like a few minutes because it's humid out here, guys. It's like ridiculously humid right now. So, oh my God, the camera fogged up. So that just shows you how humid it is out here. It just fogged up instantly like that. So we're working on the Jetski out here. So if you guys haven't been keeping up with the channel or stuff like that, you can check back to a couple of videos and get more details. Basically, the Jetski has an issue where it stalls after a certain amount of time. So, one, I hooked up to a computer, and the computer has some like weird communication errors with like the computer, but they're not active. They're just memorized. So they're not active codes, which makes no sense. And yesterday or 2 days ago I had a video I was recording. I never finished the recording because sadly I accidentally, I forgot to bring cameras on the Jetski, and so there's really no footage of the Jetski. So I wasn't really going to put footage of me just checking out the Jetski and stuff like that. So the whole point of the video was to do that, show that, take it out, see what it found and stuff like that. So, sorry, I just had some lunch before I did this. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna pop this all off, get in more detail in a second. But I want to kind of get the computer reader out here, a couple things. I got a new part for it right there, which we'll go over in a second, which title of the video will probably show what we're doing with it. And other than that, we're just going to be testing some electrical stuff and trying to see if we can find any like corrosion and loose things or anything like that. All right, guys, I'm taking this top part off. Usually I have my drill, but I cannot find my they call it my crybaby impact. Oh, that's missing a screw there. That's interesting. Oh, that's that. Missing it, so I'm just getting these off, and then I'll re-intervene with you guys and get fully what we're doing. I'm going to go over a little bit. Right now, we're going to be replacing a idle switch, an idle valve, basically, which I'll show you that in a few. Replacing that, which I'll show you why we're replacing it, because Jetski has some weird idle things, and it's very odd, and this is what the guy told me that it most likely would be. So we're going to replace that. Then we're going to look into another sensor on the ski and see if it is this other sensor that is bad on the ski that is causing it to stall out the way that it is. So we're going to check it out. All right, so the sensor we're going to be replacing is right here. This is just your, basically all it does is controls your idle. Now this actually has a very hesitant idle, which I'll start it up real quick. Let's start it up. So here. So I don't know if you hear it. It's going. So I'm thinking it's this. Now I was talking to an actual seated mechanic, and he agreed with me. So that, yeah, listen, we gotta use one for 40 bucks, and then the real part is like I think 180, 200 bucks, I think, or 300. God, I think it's 300 bucks. But we gotta use one for 40 bucks. So we're gonna test it. If it changes the idle a little bit at all, it changes the way it runs, then we'll get a new one. But for now, we're just gonna swap it out for a used one. Another thing we're gonna be taking a look at is, oh, this looks good. I'm not checking the level. I'm only checking the way it looked, how it looked. But another thing I'm gonna be taking apart here, is these. I don't think I ever had these off though. This is one of the computers. Now I don't know if this is like the MPEM computer or the onboard stabilization computer. There's two computers. You got one here, you got one over there. As well as there's another sensor over there we're gonna take a look at, because that is a TOPS, tip over protection sensor, I believe it's called. Basically it shuts the engine off if the Jetski tips over. That's the idea of it. There's all this black stuff here. It's weird. So that's the idea behind that sensor over there. But like I said, there's something going on with computers. It's either gonna be a computer issue or it's just gonna be some stupid sensor issue. Now the problem is these sensors are not cheap on these Jetskis. They are hundreds of dollars sometimes. Like I said, the thing I said I'm replacing right there. It's just a little valve. Here, I'll show you it. Here, let's say this. This big giant piece of little, fold thing. keep on rolling, keep on rolling, keep on rolling, and oh, it's just this little thin little, you know, a thin little thing here. Literally, this is all this is. All it does is just basically this thing pushes the throttle body slightly open and closed it to keep it at one idle point. Now, we do have new injectors coming for this Jetski. The reason we got new injectors is because they're all injectors, so we want to get some new ones to see if it'll help. You know, they're all injectors, you never know. It's because the only thing they could be causing a stall issue is one, fuel or ignition. Now, other than the most basic parts of an engine, it's going to be then electrical parts. So, you know, a wire corrosion, broken wire, just as simple as things like that can just be like, and they're impossible to find sometimes. And unless you have the right diagnostic system, which I have a computer, I got this computer, but it's just a cheap computer just for me to do basic things. It's not like an actual C2. C2 computers cost like $1,000 bucks, $800. That was $300 bucks. So it was just at least, I mean, to read the codes and easily, you know, diagnose the Jetski a little easier. So it definitely helped out with that, and at least understanding, all right, though there's a computer communication issue, which leads me to this stupid sensor down here, which we're gonna play with. But first, like I said, let's get to replacing that idle control solenoid or valve, I don't know what they call it, and see if that helps out at all. All right, so we're gonna get in here. Oh, come on, don't tell me, okay. Oh, that was easy. Looks like it's gasket, which I did not know, which hopefully the gasket just stays there and behaves. We'll hope. We'll just hope for that. Let me unplug this actually first. Should probably disconnect the battery. I didn't do that, but already in the motion of working, so already in the motions. These are not tight at all too, so definitely don't want you to put them back in any tighter than they were. This is tight, but not, it's just corroded, I think. No, it's not a gasket, that just needs to be cleaned up. All right, so I gotta clean that up a little bit, and then we'll get the new part in, well, new used part. I always put a little oil on my O-rings because it helps seal them a little better. So I always put a little oil on them to help. So this just goes in just like that. Now this is from an 04 RXP. Now they're all interchangeable realistically, I believe. They're all the same engine. This is from an 04. 05 and 04 I believe are very similar. Yeah, I don't think there really is any difference in the engines or anything like that. You know, usually they do make slight changes, but I think that as of like this sensor and stuff, they don't. It was the same part number, so I'm assuming it should be good. It did not fix it at all. I don't think that fixed it at all. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the old one back in only because it looks so much cleaner and nicer than the one that I originally put in there, that I just put in there now. So I'm gonna put this one back in, go from there, and then we're gonna hop into some of the other topics that we're gonna look at today. All right, so I kind of was just actually playing around with it a little bit. I'm putting you guys back up here to give you guys an overview of everything I'm looking at. So I just came around here. I saw this was pushed up, and it doesn't feel like it's staying. So I don't know if these are bouncing off and it shuts the Jetski off temporarily. I got these on real quick. Hold on. Pushed in. I have them all just pushed in nicely right now. So I'm gonna turn this on, get the Jetski turned on. Oh. So I shut I shut the camera off. I see there's some oil here, which that's not an issue. Well, it's an issue, but that's because it's coming from the seal. I know where that's coming from. Yeah, it's not. I know where it's coming from. It's not really an issue of like where it came from. It's technically we need a new seal. I gotta take this off, get a new seal for that. But it's not leaking because there's no puddle in there. Besides what just came out now. But we're about to do an auto scan of the system because I unplugged the TOPS sensor, which stalled it out, which was kind of hoping it would, sort of. Not really, but sort of. So we're just gonna go through all this. We're at 11.82 volts, which is not good. We should be at 12.5 volts. That's actually one thing we should be at, and that could be an issue as well. All right, let's scan TTCs. All right, yeah, here you go. Now they're popping back up. Okay. Yeah, I just messed up before on the scanner, so I was hoping we got somewhere, but I guess not. All right, so communication detected by NPM, communication problem, ECM message missing, communication problem, instrument cluster missing. So let me start this thing up again. Turn the water on. Hopefully the thing doesn't have a heart attack. Hopefully it's not going to have a heart attack from doing this again. Actually not. My shirt's off because freaking it's just too hot out here to be freaking dealing with heat. It's actually not hot, it's humid out. But what do you call it? So Jesse's packed up. I jumped the TOPS sensor, the tip over sensor. I jumped it so that it's always reading that it's never flipped. So hopefully maybe that's the issue. The other thing, I did take out the valve cover, the valve thing, and just checked it over. It doesn't need a new seal there, but I don't have a seal right now. Other than that, I put the old, what do you call it, the idle solenoid in, or not the old one, the new old one. So that's in, and we're just gonna test drive it and see if the TOPS sensor goes off. You know, that's really the only thing we have left to try, and I don't know what else to do. So we're just gonna have to just get the computer on, hooked up to the Jetski, run it, test drive it, which I'm gonna try to do by myself this week if I have time. Especially stormy all week, so I may try to do it. I don't know, I'm not sure. Work's getting a little sketchy right here. Not sketchy, a little up and down, so see what happens. So other than that, listen, I'm gonna turn the video off here. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please like down below, comment down below if you have any advice on this situation. If you had a similar issue or if you solved this issue before, leave them down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, do what it takes for other dreams. Don't let anything get in your way, stay maverick. I'll see you guys next one.